Ladies and gentlemen, get you a large pot and pan, heat it up. All right, so to let you guys know, this large pot right here is on like a medium-low heat because we're gonna make a roux in this one. And in this pan over here where we sear our chicken, I got this on about a medium heat. Now over at our prepping area, we get crack-a-lacking. So what we have here is 1 green bell pepper, 1 yellow onion, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 sticks of celery, and a handful of fresh parsley, which we'll get to later. But for now, we get chopping on this right here. Hiya! Flawless victory. All right, we've moved our vegetables to a bowl, and we're gonna put them in the fridge for now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and season up our chicken now. We're gonna start with a generous layer of garlic salt. There we go. And some black pepper. Try to get that on there without making a crazy mess here. All right, we flip them over and repeat. And there we go. Seasoned chicken. All right, from here, we're gonna go ahead and take this sifter over here with some flour, and we're gonna try to dust off the chicken here with some little coat of flour. And then we'll shake them off as we pick them up. So we're gonna do both sides of the chicken with this. All right, we have dusted off our chicken here. So to our hot pan, we will be adding 1 stick of butter, or in this case, 2 half sticks. Y'all already know. So just to give y'all a little tip here, if you drop your butter in and it looks like it's sizzling really fast and browning up, I'd pull the pan off the heat and just move the butter around in the pan, by moving the pan around a little bit. And that way the pan will cool down a little bit and the butter doesn't kind of sit in one spot. But this one's working out pretty good. Now that the butter is melted, drop in your chicken. Ooh, watch out now. We're gonna let this sear up probably 6, could be 8 minutes. It just kind of depends on how it's cooking. We'll kind of monitor it. We just want it to brown up on each side. Meanwhile, in our hot pot over yonder, we're gonna get started on a roux. We're gonna drop in 2/3 cup of vegetable oil. Now 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And we get stirring immediately. So if it's your first time tuning in, a roux is a very time-consuming, patient process. Unless you're one of those people who like to get your heat very high and go right at it, hardcore, but it's risky when you do that. But hey, more power to you. I like it low and slow. And then from here, we just keep stirring. It looks clumpy like this in the beginning sometimes. In my earlier videos, I used more oil, so it made things a little easier. It's kind of foolproof whenever you do it that way. But doing it like this, you're using less oil, and it will smooth out. It's gonna cook down more and more, and it's gonna have a very thin consistency. Not very thin, but a thinner consistency than what you see here. So we just gotta keep stirring. And we'll be able to let it sit at times. Since our heat is low, we can do 2 things at once. So stay tuned. Let's go ahead and try to flip some of this. Yeah, looking pretty good. Probably could go on a little long. I went the 6-minute mark. That's why you never can tell. Yeah, that one looks pretty good. Yeah, beautiful. It's looking beautiful. And as you guys can see, our roux is thinning out nicely. We got that very light color right now. We're looking to get to a good caramel color. Good, kind of almost brown, light brown. Just keep stirring. All right, we done browned up our chicken. Now we drop in our vegetables. Yes, indeed. Get that moving. Just gonna saute these vegetables in these bits right here. It's gonna break it all up. Ooh, man, it smells so good. And meanwhile, we're still working on this roux, guys. As you can see, it's now a nice tan color here. So we just keep on stirring this and then stirring this. You gotta multitask when you're doing a chicken sauce piquant like this. So after we've been sauteing these vegetables for about 10 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. There we go. Well, make sure you get rid of that. Get that stirred around. There we go. Looking good. Just keep cooking. And also, keep stirring this bad boy right here. So just to let you guys know, sometimes you might have to really work this at the bottom, to make sure it doesn't get stuck, doesn't burn. You just keep working it real good and you'll be all right. All right, it has been another 10 minutes here. So at this time, we're gonna go ahead and add 1 can of mild rotel tomato. You can add the spicy one if you want, which honestly, I would go with the spicy one. But when you got some tiny mouths to feed, you do what works for them. You know what I'm saying? All right, after a couple minutes of sauteing that rotel in there, we are going to add 1 14.5-ounce can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. Ooh, look at that fire roasting you can see on there. Looks good. Just blend that around. All right, our roux is a nice brown color here. So we are gonna go ahead and start adding a small amount of a 32-ounce container of chicken stock. Be careful. Ooh. And we're just gonna blend that around for now. And your roux will break up. You're gonna notice that. All right, there we go. Let's add some more. Whoa. Let me make sure I come over here and stir this bad boy too. You like that? All right, this is nice and creamy over here. So I'm gonna take the rest of this chicken stock and add it to this pan. So that way we can really break up everything over here when we add it to our roux. There we go. All right, just kind of stirring that around. There we go. Paya! We are now taking the contents of this pan and dumping it in this one right here. Oh, there we go. Looks good. We're gonna get the rest of that out, don't worry. Blend that around. Looking good. All right, so to this right here, we are gonna go ahead and add 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce. There we go. Stir that around. All right, so I'm gonna add 2 cups of water, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in this pan right here because I know y'all worried about that. You're worried about all that goodness, right? Put that in there, break it up, and then I'll dump it in the pot. Go ahead and dump that in. Beautiful. All right, we're blending that in. And I'm just gonna keep this on a low heat for now. Still need to go chop up my parsley, so let's just let this sit here for a little bit. So you just wanna fine chop this. And there you go, parsley. So look guys, if you wanna use parsley flakes, which I did use in my previous video, you can. I had some fresh parsley because I made some homemade lasagna earlier in the week, and I said, I gotta put the rest of it to use. And here we are. All right, let's add some seasoning. So we're gonna have 2 tablespoons of sugar, which will kind of reduce some of the acidity of the tomato. And then 1 tablespoon of your favorite Cajun or Creole seasoning. And then stir that around. Oh yeah, also 2 bay leaves. All right, guys, now that we've got this thing seasoned up, we're gonna add the chicken back in. So we're just gonna slowly put the chicken in here because you just dump it all in and you're gonna splatter this stuff everywhere. And there you go. Now look, all this, you dump that in there. Don't go leaving that in there, trust me. That is some flavor. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and raise our heat up here. We want to get this to kind of a slight boil. We're also going to push this chicken down. That way it's completely submerged in the sauce. Picks up all the flavor. And it may be tough to kind of see this thing boiling per se because it's really thick right now. Well, you'll see it kind of moving, maybe, puffing up a little bit here and there. And when you do, that's when you know it's time to cover it up and lower to a simmering heat. That's about what you're looking for. So go ahead, cover it up, lower to a simmering heat, and let this bad boy cook for 2 hours. Come back about every 10 to 15 minutes and just kind of stir the bottom.
HDTV don't mean that much to me, 'cause I got higher definition in my reality.
Oh man, look at all this goodness. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Chicken sauce piquant. Oh man, it smells so good. Beautiful color. It's time to plate up. Let me tell you guys, this stuff is awesome. It's not like a spaghetti sauce. I know you see a lot of tomato and then the tomato sauce is in there, but it's different when you cook it all down in a roux and then, have the Cajun seasoning cook in there with it. It gives it a very unique flavor. It's like almost like a tomato-based chicken stew. It just has that good, authentic Cajun feel to it with the tomato base in there. And then we added a little bit of sugar to cut the acidity on the tomatoes, but it also gives it a hint of sweetness. And that combination of salty and sweet just, it's making my mouth water right now. But, enough talk. Let's go ahead and take a bite, right? Whew, man, I love this stuff. I'm just gonna get a little sauce and rice first. Oh man. It just like melts in your mouth. It's just this very unique gravy, And look at this chicken, look at this. It just comes right off. Oh wow, look at that. It's so tender, it's just been cooking down in there. Really good. Oh man. And look, doing it this way with the mild rotel, it all still has a little hint of spice, which, that's kind of what you look for when you want something kind of, Cajun, Creole cuisine. I'd say this may lean towards Creole cuisine just because of the tomato, but it's very popular in Cajun country. But, if you go with the regular rotel, it's going to have the perfect kick to it, in my opinion. But if you're one that's on the fence on spice, try it this way first. This is fantastic. I'm gonna have to send you guys on your way so I can knock this out. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you all tuning in the first time I did this one, and now, you know, I thought I'd kind of bring it back, do it in crystal clear, widescreen, high definition. And, you know, that way, you know, those of you who watch it on TV or like to flip your phone in that landscape mode, you got it. But, and look, you know, there's many of you guys that ask me, can you make an alligator sauce piquant? Can you make a rabbit sauce piquant? Can you make this sauce piquant? You can basically follow the same outline here and just use different meat, and it should work out. But all in all, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in as always, and I'll see you soon. Hiya!
Don't mean that much to me, 'cause I got higher definition in my reality. What's up?